It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, you can see in that sharp interactive board, it's none other than Lee Mayfield. And Lee Mayfield is CEO and founder of a software company called Flipdeck. I use Flipdeck on a daily basis. I love the software. I wanted to bring Lee back on and talk a little bit about digital applications delivering content to end users. Lee, how are you doing, man? It's great to see you and talk to you again. It's been a while.
Doing really well, Ray. Thanks for having me back on.
Well, I appreciate bringing you back on. Lee, I just want to thank you a lot. You know, your software really helps me deliver my content. You know, I just had someone reach out to me the other day and they were asking me about some Konica content that I put out there. And you know, on my website, I have those Konica collections and a multiple HP collection. It's just a great way to put a bunch of different links of content, package it really nice and send it to an end user. How's it going in the marketplace? I mean, this software is not that old. You know, how are the sales reps using your technology to help them change the game?
Well, I appreciate the question. What I don't mind telling your viewers, and this is a little bit humbling, is when somebody uses something you create and bring to market in a little different way than what you anticipated. Mm-hmm. And so you probably remember way back in the beginning, Flipdeck was just content delivery through email. Mm-hmm. So you could create cards with links to content that are very visual and easy, and you could email them. Well, we introduced this idea of collections, which really does a similar thing, but it just puts it into a URL on a page. Mm-hmm. And what we thought people would do is they would create these hubs. And it's very similar to what you're doing with your content collections, and they would just use those hubs over and over again, and that would save them time and, you know, dial customers into whatever they needed. You know, I want IT services, or I want imaging equipment, or I want, you know, onboarding stuff. What we found is people were just diving into the idea of hyper-personalized content. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't just content for somebody like Ray, it was content for Ray, mm-hmm. or content for, you know, Joe or Sally or whoever it was at an organization. And so that's the part I think we knew in the back of our mind, you know, that this hyper-personalization was a trend, but I would say most of our users now are predominantly using collections, and they are tuning the collections to either individual people or very small teams within an organization that they're selling to or doing business with somehow.
Well, you know, I got some friends and they sell multiple deliverables, especially the more sophisticated ones. And, you know, to be able to take the information, whether that's a video, whether that's proposal links, whatever it is, and put it all in one nice package is really pretty awesome. And you're the only software that really allows you to do that. I mean, I've gotten to the point where I have about 780 videos on YouTube. I can't direct some. Hey, just go to the YouTube channel, scroll down 10 videos. That's the one I'm talking about. This way I can just grab these things. I can throw them in these collections. It's awesome. I love it. You know, I'm super excited about it. Do you have anything on the horizon for Flipdeck? In our ever-changing world, I mean, we're becoming more of a digital landscape every single day. The old school, running up and down the street, trying to get people's attention, is pretty much over with. And it's really going to be, how do you interact in that digital intersection between the physical and digital world? I talk about a lot, and you know, your software definitely allows you to navigate in that intersection.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I know you're not supposed to talk about futures too much, but you know, since you're you and a big fan of the end of the day with Ray, we have another major version that's just about to drop. Okay. And the cool thing is we're including things that people ask for. And again, you can have a hypothesis all you want about what you think is really going to take or be great, or, you know, make people say, yeah, that's for me. And there's nothing like getting your product into the hands of real users and just seeing what they want and you know, really what they gravitate toward. And resoundingly, everybody has said analytics in some way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. And user experience, it gives them like a speed to act, a speed to respond. Mm-hmm. And so in terms of the differentiation that you just alluded to, you know, you get additional insights which help you know what's working and what's not. So you can do more of what's working and less of what's not. And then again, that speed. You probably know the name Brian Tracy, you know, famed, you
sure.
know, sales guru. And I remember early on this idea of a winning edge that he talked about. Mm-hmm. And he used an example of a horse race. And it's kind of an obvious analogy, but you don't have to be twice as good as the next competitor to get all the prize money. You just have to have, you have to just be a nose better, just that little winning edge. And so really that's our idea with Flipdeck. It's a tool that when used properly by, motivated, forward-thinking digital sales professionals can provide that winning edge, get you on the short list, get noticed, and get the results that you're looking for yourself and for your dealer or your employer, whoever that is.
Lee, realistically, when I first started using your software, and I'm the old guy that barely knows how to use a computer, and at the end of the day, it allowed me to use my imagination and how I could use it to better deliver my content. I love the way it works, and I'm sure I'm using it not quite the way I was supposed to be using it, but the flexibility of the platform allowed me to do that. So I obviously it's a phenomenal way to deliver content, especially multiple links. We all have so much that we're trying to get to people, but the trick is you got to get it to them fast. You got to get it to them so that it's attractive, so they'll actually open it. And then more importantly, is there a call to action attached to it? Is there anything you want to add before we wrap this up?
Well, I would just say you do have a lot of videos, and I've had the experience of being a little bit behind sometimes in terms of taking them in, and I found myself on your YouTube channel, sort of if I have to scroll past the first page, it's a little bit of a hunt sometimes, just because you have so much content, and so I appreciate your collections, and I think that's a great model of just making it easier for the consumer, giving them a short list, being cognizant of their time, and that makes you stand out, I think, as a supplier and as a good business partner for that.
Well, I just love what I do, and I couldn't do it as good as I do it if I didn't have the Flipdeck software. But Lee, everybody knows this: status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo. We'll see y'all later, my friends.